this is how it is, guys. This is the level of effort I can honestly give this morning when it comes to my appearance. But anyway, guys, welcome to episode 5 of this prep series. I can't believe I'm even saying episode 5 already. Where the hell is the time going? I remember saying in one of my previous vlogs that the digging phase was just around the corner. And I can confirm, guys, as of even just like the past 2-3 days, I have well and truly entered the digging phase, and the grind is real at the moment. The struggle is real, but honestly, motivation levels are so high right now. I will be stepping on stage in front of hundreds, actually probably thousands of people, because I'll have a show day vlog, obviously, and I have no time for slipping up now. I have no time for shitty sessions. I have no time for being inaccurate with my macros or my steps. This is where we enter like the robot mode. That's what my coach likes to call it, where you basically turn robot for the last few weeks of prep. You have to remove the emotional side of eating and the struggle and just get your shit done. And boy, am I ready for this. I am so excited. But anyway, guys, it is a beautiful Thursday morning outside. I'll actually show you the weather, because I remember in one of my previous vlogs I showed you how wet and rainy and dull Ireland was, but do you know what? We do have our lucky days as well. These are the blue skies this morning. But yeah, guys, it is a leg day for me today, and I have a really fun session planned out. I will be training in a new gym. I've actually trained there now a few times, but they don't have all the machines I need yet, so I've kind of been going between my current gym and this new gym over the past few weeks, but I'll be training in the new one today. I have an epic leg session planned out that I'm going to bring you through, and I'm basically just going to bring you through my day as well. I promise, guys, I'm going to get changed and fix my hair in a minute, but I need coffee before I function. I can't believe I'm even vlogging before I've had my coffee. Before I started prep, I was honestly the biggest morning person ever. I love waking early. I love getting up and doing my work and like going for a walk and being like happy and productive. But honestly, the last 2-3 weeks, I'm like, don't look at me in the morning before I have my coffee. Like, don't even breathe around me, because I'm just like this devil person, and I think it's prep. I think it's just like being hangry in the morning and being a little bit more tired than I'm used to. Also, guys, I am going to be doing everything in my power to hide these nails for me today. They are disgusting. What happens to me is I lose one nail, and then I hate the look of having like 9 nails and one disgusting nail. So I don't know what goes through my head, but I decide to just rip the rest of them off, and then I have 10 disgusting nails instead of just one. And my hands look like little boy hands, so I'm going to be hiding these for me today. The only annoying thing about that coffee machine is that it gets little splatters of coffee all over my worktop. But the coffee tastes really good, so I'm not going to complain. And of course, I'm going to have a sweetener with this as well. But in other news, guys, I got a PlayStation. I know, really weird. I am like not a gamer at all, but I need something to distract me while I'm on prep. And honestly, I've been so productive. I get up in the morning and I get all my work done. I train, and then I see my family, and then I normally do another little bit of work. And then before bed is when I've just been getting like super hungry and agitated, and I find it really hard to switch off. Like, I think it's good to be productive, but I don't think it's good for me to just continue working to keep my mind off being hungry. So I got a PlayStation, and we got Call of Duty and NBA and Crash Bandicoot and another game. I think we got Zombies as well, because that's the one I like playing. I like playing Call of Duty, the Zombies one. And we also got Grand Theft Auto. It has been helping me keep my mind off things, and it's been helping me kind of just relax at nighttime instead of being on social media and being at my laptop. It's nice to actually just zone out and just play the PlayStation. And time flies, I think, when you're in the middle of a game. Like, an hour could go by and you're chilling. So the rule is, once I have all my work done, once I have all my steps done, and once I have like ticked off all my to-do lists for that day, I put away my phone, I put away my laptop, and I relax and I play PlayStation. And I honestly never thought I'd be able to switch off like that. Like, I get so anxious if I feel I'm not being productive enough, and I often get guilty when I feel I'm not doing enough, and that's just not a good way to be. It's obviously good to be productive and good to want more and work hard, but I don't think it's good to never feel satisfied with what you're doing either. I think I have to reach a point each day where I'm happy with what I've done and know when to switch off. And as I said, guys, when you're hungry in the evening, that's probably the hardest time for most people. When you're on the couch, when you're completely relaxed and you're thinking about food, you're thinking about takeaways, you're thinking about even just snacking. So keeping my mind occupied with PlayStation is definitely helping. This was supposed to look like an omelette, but I'm after absolutely mangling it when I flipped it over. But this is the first meal of the day. I like to keep it high protein. There's 50 grams of lardons in this. So these are the turkey lardons that I put in my omelette, and they honestly taste so good. They're nice and salty, low fat and really high protein. I also have 2 whole eggs and 3 egg whites in here, and I just use the Frylight 1 cal oil on the pan as well. Right, and I'm having a tin with some butter on it too with this. I'm actually disgusted over how this omelette turned out, but it's still going to taste the same. It's just my presentation is not on fleek today. So you've a rest day?
Yeah, you know what I might start doing? Which would be a really good idea. I'm like suffering.
When you're suffering?
Yeah. Like just drink this, I'll trap it.
Okay.
And I'll just like put it in the freezer and make it really fucking nice. That's gonna be a nice flavour.
Show me.
Just EAs.
Welch's grape. That's his idea, guys.
I think it's
but when he's suffering, you're gonna freeze it?
Not freeze, but have like really cold, like, you know, so it's gonna be like nice and refreshing.
Yeah, the Welch's grape. I'll actually show you guys. The Welch's grape aminos from Ghost honestly taste just like Ribena. They taste really, really nice. I also love the sour green apple, and they just sent me my care package and sent out all my favourite flavours, but that's actually a really good idea. I think what we used to do is put it in the shaker and then just put it in the freezer for like an hour before you go to the gym, and it tastes so nice. Or you could just sip on them throughout the day as well. I think there's only 5 calories per scoop. Basically nothing, and it's a good way of staying hydrated and keeping on top of your water intake, which can sometimes be difficult. Anyway guys, by now I am normally having my pre-workout meal and getting ready for the gym, but I actually have a call with my website developer in the next like 30 minutes. So I really wanted to like tell you everything in today's video, but I just feel like it's a little bit too soon and I don't want to jump the gun, especially because of the whole coronavirus outbreak and like deliveries and things like that. But a lot of you have already guessed it and seen it on my Instagram, but I am going to be launching my own products. I'm starting my own brand, and I'm hoping that it'll launch at the start of April. I know it's really annoying that I'm not giving you any more details now, but there's something really, really fun coming that I have been working on for the last couple of months, and I put through my bulk order for the products. Everything is paid for. I just have to wait now for the products to arrive and just to make sure everything's okay before I give you an announcement, like an official announcement of what they are and when they will be launching. But that's what my call is about. I need to get onto my website guy. His name is James. He's actually based in America. So my 2 p.m. is his 8 a.m. and we needed to like organise a time that suited both of us. But I basically just need to revamp my website, speak about payment options, and I also need to do a photo shoot. I wanted to do a photo shoot when I was like 6 weeks out from my show, because that's when I'm still going to look like kind of full. I know the last couple of weeks you're really going to suck in, so I'm going to get a photo shoot done as well over the next 2 weeks and just revamp my website. There will be an official announcement video hopefully over the next 2-3 weeks where I can bring you through everything, show you all the products and show you the process and just literally tell you everything about the brand. But as I said, a lot of you would have guessed it, and I'm sure you're actually going to see some of them in today's video. I just don't want to set anything in stone and say it on the internet yet, because the coronavirus is kind of freaking me out with deliveries and like borders and different things like that. So hold tight and I will let you know everything very, very soon. But starting my own brand, I can't believe it. It's like official, it's happening. I also just changed into this top as well, guys. These tops will be live by the time you see this video. Pretty sure the launch is on Saturday and my weekly upload is on a Sunday. So if you haven't already, don't forget to use my code, my support code, when you check out. It's a really, really small launch for women, but I would be absolutely all over the men's products as well, guys. I wear the men's clothes probably more than I wear the women's clothes at this stage, especially for when I'm like at home and doing cardio. The men's hoodies are an absolute dream.
A whole lot of additional configuration and things like that are needed. It's pretty good to go right out the box. So.
Okay. Right guys, it is pre-workout time. I'm going to be having my usual cereal. So I'm going to have cornflakes with low-fat milk, and I'm also going to have a protein shake from Ghost. So they just sent me out my care package, as I mentioned, and I got a restock of my cereal milk protein. They also have a new shaker coming out this month, and it's obviously green for Paddy's Day. So I think the green is really cool, especially in light of St. Patrick's Day. So I'm going to I normally have like 50 grams of cereal, 140 mils of light milk, and I'm going to have 1 scoop of whey. Okay guys, that is my leg day done. I am back in my cozy oversized men's jumper in my happy place, and I just thought I'd sit down and have a chat with you about your glutes and being in a deficit and what to expect and what you should do to keep them around, basically. Because I think, especially with my own clients anyway, and even with myself, when a lot of girls go into a calorie deficit, our biggest fear is losing our glutes. It's an absolute nightmare. So I just thought I would give you my thoughts and opinions on it. So first things first guys, I am going to be an absolute savage and say it. You have to have glutes in the first place to not lose them. And when I say glutes, I mean actual glute muscles and not just a lot of fat around your hips and ass, basically. Often girls think that they have massive glutes when in fact they just hold a lot of fat in that area. I was like this before I started lifting. I've always had like bigger thighs, bigger hips. Before I started lifting, I just held a lot of fat in that area, and that's where I still hold most of my fat. Before I started lifting, if I did a massive cut, then my glutes would have just disappeared because I didn't build them up enough in the first place to stick around. So if you go into a cut and if you're wondering why you have no ass at the end of it, it's probably because you didn't take the time to build your glutes in the first place. You have to have a solid foundation. You have to have incorporated progressive overload into your plan, built up strength in that area and worked on your glutes for months before you decide to cut down and expect them to stay around. So don't get confused between just having fat in that area and actually having well-developed glutes, because there is a big difference. But if you have been lifting for a while and if you've been consistent with your leg days and if you've been consistent with your logbook, then I am pretty confident that you would have built your glutes to a good point. So make sure that you've obviously worked on your glutes before you start cutting down, especially if you do want them to stick around when you get further into your calorie deficit. Also, while I'm speaking about that as well guys, with my own clients, as I mentioned, a lot of us just want to have the waist and we want to have the glutes at the same time. A lot of girls sign up with me and they say, oh, I really want to like tone up my stomach but also build my lower half. So in this scenario, I always recommend committing to one before the other, and I would normally recommend that my clients get to a body fat percentage they are happy with first, and then gradually start building their calories and go on to a build and grow plan, because your body will be in a much more responsive state when you're at a good body fat percentage, start building muscle. And it's just nicer to start at a more toned point anyway, because you'll actually be able to see muscle development as you progress. But yeah, that's just a side note. Another way to keep your glutes when you start cutting is to make sure you're still using your logbook and incorporating progressive overload whenever you can, especially for the first few weeks of your cut. Honestly, I think if you're doing just a regular like lifestyle cut, if you're just cutting for your holidays or something like that, there is no reason why your numbers should drop when you're in a deficit. Yes, it will definitely be more difficult to beat your numbers, but that's not an excuse to just get tired and lazy with it. That's how you start losing muscle tissue. I understand for the last like couple of weeks of prep, when you're like really hungry and your calories are super low, or if you're doing a photo shoot, at that point your numbers may start dropping, or you might just have to maintain the numbers instead of progressing with them. But if you're a lifestyle client and if you're just cutting for a holiday, there's no reason why your numbers shouldn't progress in your sessions. So make sure your intensity is still there. Make sure you're still beating your numbers on your leg days, and if you're doing that, your glutes will have enough of a reason to stick around. As you get further into a calorie deficit, and if you're not training hard enough, you're not giving your muscle any reason to stick around. So you need to give it a reason. You need to progress with your lifts, and even though it's going to be harder and you're going to be tired and you're going to be hungry, those are the sessions that actually really make a difference to how much muscle you're going to retain at the end of your cut. Another way to keep your glutes when you go into a cutting phase is to make sure you're starting your cutting phase on the right calories. If you start a cut on like next to no food, that's when you will start eating into muscle tissue. I started this cut on 2300 calories and my food drops have been very gradual over time, and this is for a competition prep. So remember, it's not a race, especially if you want to retain tissue at the end of your cut. You should be starting with a good amount of food and gradually dropping it without having any massive drops along the way, because if you start off on 1200 calories, you will have nothing to work with, and you will most definitely start eating into muscle tissue if you start at such a low point. And another big tip for keeping your glutes when you start cutting is to prioritize your recovery. Your recovery is going to be a lot more difficult when you're in a calorie deficit, because obviously you have less energy and your body is just going to be more tired overall. So you need to make sure that you're getting your rest, you're getting enough sleep, you're hitting your protein goal every day, you're adhering to your meal plan, and that you're managing your stress so that your muscles can recover and repair and be ready for your next session. If you are absolutely killing yourself in the gym, doing loads of HIIT cardio, getting shit sleep and not prioritizing your recovery, I can guarantee that you will end up eating into muscle tissue by the end of your cut if you don't look after it. And I know you always hear me blabbing on about how important recovery and sleep is, but guys, it really shouldn't be overlooked, especially if you're trying to retain muscle tissue, again, as I said. And of course guys, overall adherence is super important when it comes to both your meal plan and your training program. It's going to be way more difficult to stick to plan as you get further into a deficit. You can start convincing yourself that, oh, maybe I'll just leave out this set of this exercise because I'm feeling tired, or you might go over your macros or calories on one day because you're getting to the tougher parts, but those are the parts that actually matter. Make sure you're adhering to your training plan and your diet plan accurately. So those are just some tips for you guys when you do start cutting for summer. I know I'll have a lot of clients myself that will be going into their cutting phase for summer, and those are like my main tips that I would give to my own clients when they do start. But yeah guys, I think that is pretty much it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.